When it says live streams on, you got it, Devin?
Just waiting for it to show up online.
Okay.
It takes about a minute. All right, we are streaming.
All right, thank you, Devin. We'll call to order this July 28th, 2020 special meeting of the Tecumseh Board of Education. We'll start with our Pledge of Allegiance as led by John Benzing tonight.
John.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for
Pledge
all.
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation.
All right, then. Public comment. We had no registrants for a public comment. We're going to move right to our agenda discussion topic, which is one, the K through 2 learning technology. Rick, would you like to give us a quick synopsis of that?
The quick synopsis is that we have a plan for instruction for the 2020-21 school year. It includes basically three tiers or three choices for parents. One is the virtual option through the Tecumseh Virtual Academy that we are calling the Anytime, Anywhere teaching and learning approach. One thing that will keep that similar to the curriculum that the district will be using is Edmentum's assessment tool that will give us first of the year data, and then we're going to do that across the board for all students, regardless of if they're in the virtual academy or not. And then we're going to use that at the end of the year as well, similar to what we have done with NWEA in the past. We're just not going to do that, and the tool's already in Edmentum, and not purchasing the NWEA testing will save us some money in the general fund. So that's helpful. The option is to be online, but this is for families who will be planning to come back in the district for instruction at some point. If the pandemic is brought to phase 6 because of a vaccine or therapeutics, then they may want to return with their cohort into live instruction. The caveat there is that the parents will have to agree that their students are on our schedule. They will have to attend daily, and they'll have breaks for their specials like art, gym, and music and things like that, all online. Our instructor will be in our facility, and then the students would be at home in a cohort throughout the school year until there's a time when we're ready to bring that group back in. And then thirdly is the in-person option. In all of these options, technology is going to be utilized to a great extent. And we have to anticipate that at some point, once we're face-to-face, that there could be positive cases, there could be government mandates that push us back to phase 3, and we would all have to go home for instruction. So if any of those things happen, we've got to have technology in the hands of the youngest learners that don't involve a keyboard, because they're just learning their alphabet in some cases. So I asked Evan to get a price for 500 Chrome touchpads, and he was able to do that rather quickly. and the price is good until the 22nd of August. But in order to get them delivered so that we can use them when school starts, I couldn't wait until the 10th of August to bring this to the regular board meeting. So I believe that you've seen the quote. It involves the devices and cases to keep them safe, and we would be using them for both in-person and distance learning.
All right. Also, I think all the board members got the revised budget, which wasn't a big revision. It really took that money that the state isn't going to take from last year, rolled it into our fund equity. That was the only change. It put us up to
Right.
17.25% fund equity. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it was actually a little better than that, 17.34, and that's an unaudited fund equity. So we would expect to get even a little bit better, maybe closer to 18% to start the year. There are some categorical monies that may be shifted that wouldn't be of benefit, but in general, that's the fund equity projection based on the money not being taken back from 1920. The 2021 budget is not set, so we're still assuming some things in the budget that could be beneficial to us later on. That is the $700 per student reduction that we planned for may not be that deep. So there could potentially be even more savings in there, but we do have some things that we know that we're going to have extra expenses on related to safety protocols and cleaning. So we do want to have a little bit of that padding to be able to do those things. Still don't know very much about athletics, except that they're continuing to do their workouts, and their official start date is, I think, I want to say that it's the 11th or 12th of August is their official start date, and then, by that time, they'll be letting us know if there's going to be a competition season for athletics. But there is a potential there that we're not going to be spending the money that we thought we were, at least for fall sports. So there's still information that we need to gather and wait for from other sources, but regardless, we're going to have school. And like I said, it could be in any one of those three versions, and we need these devices for all three of them.
Right. On that topic, the question was posed earlier in the week. The CARES Act money, is that faucet dried up, or is there any chance of revisiting the CARES Act to get funding for these?
I don't have an accounting for exactly what money we have spent out of that. I think it was 188,000. But I know that part of the extra 500 Chromebooks that we bought earlier came from that money. So there isn't an enormous amount of money left. These devices are a little more expensive than the Chromebooks. The Chromebooks with license were roughly $200 a piece. So we got more of them for less money than the 140 that we're asking for. And we spent that CARES Act, some of that CARES Act money on a few other smaller things. But once we have that accurately accounted for, some of this 140 will come from that. We have about $46,000 in some money that we get annually in the form of a grant from the ISD that we will be able to put towards this. So not all of the 140 that we're asking for here will come from general fund.
All right. John?
I just want to say, I think, we definitely need to get this taken care of tonight so Devin can get these ordered. Because one of the big issues out in the world today is, lack of inventory. Because it doesn't matter what it is, nobody manufactured things for 3 or 4 months and the inventory levels are drying up. So we can't afford to wait very long to get these or they're not going to be available.
All right, there was one other question that was posed. I wanted to make sure I got an answer to. Let me see if I can find it. Apologies for the slight delay.
We still don't have a decision on funding related to what student count numbers they'll be using, but it's been suggested, and we're fairly confident that they will be allowing us to use either the 1920 student count for FTE or the 2021, whichever is larger. So there should be a benefit there. You know, Terry's been busy with registrations at School of Choice right along. And on that note, I'll do a shameless self-promotion here. I was notified today that the Daily Telegram, who does their yearly Best of Lenawee survey of their readers, with 13,000 voters, Tecumseh Public Schools was selected as one of the top 5 finalists for best public school in Lenawee County. So we'll see how that goes. But I know that that's a huge upgrade from where the district has been in the recent past. I was pretty excited about that.
The other question I was posed was bid process on this. We did not send this out for open bid. I am assuming, could I get confirmation that this came off the state standing bid site? Is that where this came from?
Yes, we used a vendor through the REMC SAVE contract. And I did actually check with some other vendors just to see what the price points were. The vendor that we chose has a much more competitive price than CDW and some others that we looked at. Although they didn't even have the stock, I just wanted to know that if the prices were better, if we could get in line. It turns out that the vendor we selected has a better price. They don't have these in stock yet, but we're anticipating hopefully end of August delivery.
All right, and individually broken down, we were looking at $254, including the educational software preloaded on them, correct?
I believe that's correct, yes.
Okay, and that does not include a protective case. The protective case, was that on that quote?
We received an updated quote later, late yesterday. The protective cases are $28.50 each.
Okay, so those are some age appropriate for K through 2 protective cases.
Yes.
28, so 30. So we're looking at about $280 a piece. I know we don't have our kindergarten roundup and fall numbers yet. What kind of overage are we looking at here for K through 2? Are we looking at having 50 extra units for breakage and such? Do we have a guesstimate on that?
500 is actually a little bit of a low estimate, and that is based on some of the surveys and also from the continuity of learning plan, in that not every home needed a device for online learning. We anticipate that there will be some students whose family will have their own device and they won't request one from the district.
All right, so we haven't really padded this to have any extras in inventory then?
Not on purpose, but that could happen as a result of, like I say, not every family requiring one.
All right. So my question would be, right now we've got a request for 500 of them. Is there any interest in putting a little padding on that request to be sure we don't have any students left out, or to be sure we have at least a couple of them locked up in our tech department for breakage? Or do you guys want to stick with the 500?
Devin, I'll go with your recommendation on this. I know that it's always nice to have extra when things go wrong. This was a number that I chose based on the feasibility. It's not unrealistic to think that we'll only use about 400 of these, but I could be surprised.
Right. Without the student counts, the kindergarten registration numbers, it's going to be really hard to say. What is nice about these devices is that they're fully repairable in-house. We'll get some extra screens on order, so we have those ready. We can turn around repairs pretty much the same day. So having excess devices, it would be nice, but it's not completely necessary.
All right, so based on that, we're looking at, comes right up to $140,000 for 500 devices, right? All right, any more discussion from the board? Quiet board tonight. Could I get a motion on that's gonna push us right up to action items then? Could I get a motion on the purchase of 500 tablets for K-2 technology?
I move that we approve the purchase of 500 tablets for K-2.
Support.
We're gonna give it to John because he had his mic on. All right, roll call vote. Becky?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Suzanne?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes unanimously. That will bring us right to our adjournment for this very short yet important meeting. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Support.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone. And thank you, Rick, for taking the time out of your vacation.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I appreciate
everybody.
everybody's time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rick.
Yep.